NLWN-TV presents the In the Dugout show with a look at today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. Now, join us as we get ready for baseball in the dugout.
Hello, and welcome to In the Dugout. Rick Olson here in the NLWN-TV studios, and we're getting ready to bring you Eau Claire Cavalier baseball as the Cavaliers take on the Crescent Cardinals. The Cavaliers are coming off a 10-3 victory over the Marshfield Chaparrals on Friday, while the Cardinals have yet to begin play in the Mississippi Valley Baseball League for the 2025 season. Now, coming up in this edition of In the Dugout, we'll take a look at today's matchup between the Cavs and the Cardinals. Then we'll get Cavalier manager Ryan Bemnister's perspective on today's game in the Ryan Bemnister Show. Following that, even though this is not a league game, we'll take a quick look around the Chippewa River Baseball League just to see where things stand. Also, we'll take a moment to get to know one of this season's Cavalier players in Cavalier Profile. Finally, we'll bring you all the play-by-play action of today's game from Carson Park in Eau Claire. So it's time to get ready for some baseball action, and we'll do just that right after this brief timeout as you're tuned to In the Dugout on NLWN-TV.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Welcome back to In the Dugout. Very shortly, the Eau Claire Cavaliers will take on the Crescent Cardinals in another non-league game from Carson Park in Eau Claire. The Cavaliers are coming off a 10-3 victory over the Marshfield Chaparrals on Friday, while the Cardinals are looking to get their 2025 season started. Now, in the Cavalier game on Friday, the Cavs were led at the plate by Sam Knickerbocker, who went 2 for 3 and driving in 3 runs and belted a double to left field.
And Knickerbocker finds a hole out in center field. 1 run scores. Throw goes into second, bobble, 2 run scores.
He was followed by Xavier Bemnister, who went 3 for 5 with singles to each outfield. Brayton Tillman drove in a run with a sacrifice fly to center field while going 1 for 4. And the pitch. There's a fly ball out into right center field, fairly deep. Heading back is Bauman, and he makes the catch. But coming in to score is Hesselman. Meanwhile, Cade Mueller picked up an RBI on a double to left field. Fly ball, that's deep. That's pretty way back there and off the wall. 1 run's in, and putting on the brakes at second is Mueller with a fly ball just out of the reach of Schillinger, and give him an RBI as Hull comes in to score. Defensively, Trenton Palmer robbed Sean Bryant of a base hit with a diving catch in left field.
And that ball hit to left field over there. Palmer diving for it, makes the catch.
That is one heck of a catch by Trenton Palmer. Brayton Tillman gives him a hug as he gets up. Sam Knickerbocker made a tough catch from his catcher's position right in front of the netting behind home plate. And the pitch? There's a pop foul. Knickerbocker makes the catch right in front of the net. Now on the mound, making his Cavalier debut was Eli Erickson, who went the distance, picking up the win, allowing 3 runs on 6 hits while striking out 10. Now, the Crescent Cardinals play in the Mississippi Valley League and have yet to begin their league play for 2025. The Cavaliers last faced the Cardinals back on June 1st of last year when the Cardinals defeated the Cavaliers 4-3 in extra innings. Now, since COVID, the Cardinals have defeated the Cavaliers in 4 out of their last 5 meetings. Other than that, we know very little about the Cardinals, so we'll have to learn about them right along with you during today's game. Now, the Cavaliers are currently being led at the plate by Diego Casedo, who's hitting at .417 pace with 4 runs scored and a triple. He's followed by Sam Knickerbocker, who has a .380 average, including 9 RBI and 4 runs scored. Ashton Kroll at .333, Logan Hesselman at .333, Xavier Bemnister at .333, and Carter Veith at .324 round out the Cavaliers hitting .300 or better. The leading pitcher thus far for the Cavaliers is Andrew Milner, who has a 5-1 record with a 1.79 ERA, which includes 3 complete games and a no-hitter. Aiden Ecker is right behind with a 2-0 record plus a save and an ERA of 1.33 with 21 strikeouts in 20 1/3 innings. Now, Eli Rathke is 2-2 with an ERA of 4.09, and Cooper Dykes has a 1-1 record and a save with an ERA of 2.65, while Lucas Costley and Xavier Bemnister have also each picked up a save. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get manager Ryan Bemnister's perspective as we chat with him on The Ryan Bemnister Show. You're tuned to In the Dugout on NLWN-TV.
The Goat Coffee House on Water Street in Eau Claire presents The Ryan Bemnister Show, where Cavalier manager Ryan Bemnister gives us his perspective on today's game. And now, The Ryan Bemnister Show.
Today we're at the Goat Coffee House on Water Street in Eau Claire, talking with Cavalier manager Ryan Bemnister. And Ryan, today the Cavaliers are going to be taking on the Crescent Cardinals in another non-league game. But before we get to that game, can you talk a little bit about how you approach these games as a learning opportunity?
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things you and I have talked about a lot, and it maybe frustrates a few people on the board, you know, the approach we take to these non-conference ones, but it's a great opportunity to get some guys that maybe aren't high in the innings or high in the at-bats and things like that, get them some more time in the field, because you never know when they're going to have to fill in. You get to that WBA and the CRBL, and a lot of times that's August, mid-August, and some of these guys are going back to school. Mm-hmm. Some are taking their last travel plans with their families before they go back to school, things like that. And you can't fault a kid for doing that. You got to have somebody ready to step into place, and that's what we got here. And if you ever take a look at our roster and our stats and stuff, you know, you'll see how the games started, but you'll see that the games played are basically even with all these guys, and that's kind of what we try to do. Get them some experience, use it as a learning tool for these guys. You know, not necessarily a practice or a scrimmage, because we really want to win these games, but we can approach it in a way that we can get guys some time.
Now, the Cavalier bats could use a little bit of a spark, especially in the last couple of games. The hit numbers have been down. Now, granted, you've played against some pretty good pitching teams, and so that's got a lot to do with it. But what part of the Cavs hitting approach would you like to see improved over this weekend's games?
Honestly, I want to see them just a little bit more aggressive. You know, when we went against Osseo on Wednesday, you know, it's one of these things we saw 2 really good pitchers in that one, and they're smart enough to know that if they get you down 1-2 or 0-2, that they can really mix things up. And if you're just sitting on something, you guess wrong twice, you're down 2 strikes and didn't get aggressive, you're in a lot of trouble with a good pitcher. I mean, if you get a bad pitcher up there and that happens, you can still wait for his mistake. But there's not a lot of bad pitchers in this league. You can't do that against Tyson and Heidi and those guys, and it's just like, so I wanted them to be more aggressive at the plate, attack earlier in the count. You know, go look for your pitch, of course. You know, I don't want you to just swing it at anything, but, you know, just be just a touch more aggressive. You know, don't take so many pitches, and just kind of, some of these guys that are struggling at the plate, that'll give them a chance to get the bat going, and then that can steamroll into something else.
And that's where these games come in really handy. The more plate appearances, the more likely you are to be able to feel comfortable being aggressive.
Yeah, and that's what we want to see from these guys. And you know, with these games, you know, you saw it with Marshfield, you'll see it with La Crescent, that you look out there and you're like, oh, I don't see Caden Erickson at short, I don't see Hobb in center, I don't see Tilly in left. Those normal fixtures that you see out there. You're going to see a bunch of the other guys out there getting some time, getting in, used to playing a position that they might be forced into in a stressful situation.
And as I think about it, I think back to last season. That's kind of where Cooper Dykes came out of. He was kind of an unknown, and all of a sudden, by mid-season, he had been in a few of these games. He became one of your top pitchers going down the stretch and was had a big influence on winning the CRBL championship.
Yeah, 100% he did. I mean, he came in the CRBL and threw, 6 solid innings against the Bears or whatever it was. I mean, and he's one of the guys that we rely on, too. You used to sit there and go, we got to give it to Miller, we got to give it to Costley. No, now we can just give it to anybody in our starting rotation because the confidence level of them. We're seeing that same progression with Cooper that we now see with Aiden Necker. It's the same thing where it's like, I don't know what this guy has. Here, go out there and throw me 1 inning. All right, now that looked good. Here, go take Plum City. for 6 and 7 innings or whatever the hell he threw there. He wanted to go with a complete game against Jim Falls. I mean, you start seeing those confidence levels and you see what they got out there, and you're like, well, holy cow, I've got not just 1 starter, 2 starter, 3. I got 4 or 5 starters now that I can have confidence in.
And I think about him on Wednesday. He came in a pressure situation in a game against a really good team and absolutely shut them down to get the save and preserve that win for the Cavaliers.
Yeah,
that's something an experienced, mature pitcher sometimes struggles with. And as this young guy coming in there, he handled it without batting an eyelash.
Yeah, and it's something where really I don't think he threw a baseball in a few months, let alone maybe a year, from coming off of his high school career through his college stuff that he's doing. I just loved what I saw. It's like he's got that I want to win, I can beat you type of mentality. Comes off the mound. I've never seen him frown off the mound. He smiled every time. I guess one time when I pulled him in Jim Falls. But other than that, he was still smiling afterwards, and he's very excited about what his role is now. So,
and not smiling after you get pulled is not the worst thing that ever happens in the world. Now, in the last few games, the Cavalier fielding has been, for Cav standards, a little subpar. What can the Cavs do to clean up that part of the game?
Well, we started moving a couple pieces around. It's a luxury to have. We got a couple of guys that can play multiple positions, and when other guys are struggling in those type of positions, we can then utilize those guys and those other ones to kind of get the other person that's playing that position a mental break, and then get those guys to sure up the defense behind our pitching, because that's really our pitching still is shutting everybody down, but at the same time we got to score runs for them, and we're not doing that. So now we got to play really good defense. So I think it's just a matter of just getting a mental break and just knowing that. And the best part is, there's never been a time where our pitchers or our bench or they got mad at that Aaron. They're all good. They're nothing but 100% behind. They know mistakes happen and they deal with it, and it's okay. They're never mad or upset or think it cost anything. It's no big deal. I mean, half the time the pitchers come up saying, "No, it was my bad. I should have made that pitch for that to happen there." And I'm like, "Well, no, he didn't field the ball." So, but I think these games here with Marshfield, and with the Crescent today, and then we get 5 days off or 6 days off before we get back into Tilden. The guys will be mentally prepared for that. And I think sometimes you're exhausted from playing the field all the time, and sooner or later you're going to make a mistake.
Well, today the Cavaliers are going to take on the Crescent Cardinals in another non-league game. This is a team that has been tough. It's been a tough out for the Cavs over the past few years. What can you tell us about the Cardinals?
Yeah, they hit really well. They pitch really well. They field really. I mean, it's just another one of those good teams that's always in the WBA type stuff. And they get college kids that we do like over there in La Crosse and Viterbo. So it's a pretty solid team. He lost an extra innings from last year at their place.
With another one of those really young pitchers. Unfortunately, he's hurt this year.
Yeah. But yeah, no, and what'll be nice is I don't remember the last time La Crescent came and played us at our house, because we feel like we've been there the last couple of years. So now our guys will be comfortable at home, because La Crescent's probably one of the furthest trips that we do take when it comes to travel for the Cavs. But now they got to do the same thing for us and come to us on a Sunday, which our guys will be nice and relaxed for, and sleeping in their own beds and not have to get a 2-hour ride to somewhere. They can just show up to the park an hour and a half early and stay in bed till whatever it is, 10 o'clock, 10:30. I don't know what these guys do, but it'll be nice to have them at our house. I think it evens the playing field a little bit, and coming off the win against Osseo, we saw a different level of energy, and now they get to have some fun with a couple of games where they get to, our starters will be on the bench cheering on the reserves and just doing some fun stuff with them, and it's really a good camaraderie type thing. The schedule couldn't have worked out better for us to do something where it's stressful, fun, 5 days off. And
then back to the stress.
Back to the stress.
Okay. So I suppose you have another mystery pitcher for us today. Can you give us a hint on what's going to happen?
Blast from the past. The guy that threw for us for 1 year only is going to make a reappearance for us, and hopefully he can run out 5 or 6 innings. And he's just one of those guys that are just fun to watch throw and pitch. He never played college ball. He just played high school ball, and he's a fun kid to have on the team. But he moved out of city, and so he couldn't play anymore. But he's back in town and hanging out and lives in Eau Claire. So I actually ran into him at a bar and had a conversation. He's like, "Sure, I'll throw a bullpen." And he threw a bullpen. He actually threw a bullpen on Monday, and the guy he threw a bullpen with is on our team. And he's like, "Hey, look pretty good." And I said, "All right, well then, he gets to start on Sunday. So as long as all the chips fall in the right area, we're going to have him start for us."
All right. Well, Ryan, continue to enjoy your trip to Utah, and hopefully, again, the Cavaliers can pull off a win in your absence.
And I hope so, and wait for my phone call during the game if something's going wrong.
You've been tuned to the Ryan Bempnister Show, presented by the Goat Coffee House on Water Street in Eau Claire, with Cavalier manager Ryan Bempnister's outlook on today's game. Stay tuned. More of In the Dugout is coming right up.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Welcome back to In the Dugout, as we're getting ready to bring you all the action of today's non-league matchup between the Eau Claire Cavaliers and the Crescent Cardinals. Now, even though today's game is not a CRBL game, let's take a look around the league to see where things stand. On Friday, the Chippewa River Baseball League had only one game scheduled, pitting the Tilden Tigers against the Cadott Red Sox, with the Red Sox coming out on top 8-4. Yesterday, the Chippewa Falls Lumberjacks traveled to Jim Falls to take on the Sturgeons, and the Sturgeons emerged winners 6-5. And the Whitehall Whitetails visited the Augusta Athletics, with the Whitetails securing the win 10-1. That leaves the CRBL standings as follows. In the North Division, in first place at 10-0 are the Cadott Red Sox. Just 3.5 games back at 8-5 are the Chippewa Falls Lumberjacks, and in third place are the Jim Falls Sturgeons at 5-6 and 5.5 games out. In fourth place are the 2-6 Tilden Tigers, while fifth are the Bloomer Woodticks. In the South Division, the Eau Claire Bears sit in first at 10-2, while the Cavaliers are in second at 8-3 and are 1.5 games out of first. Just behind the Cavaliers in third place are the 8-5 Osseo Merchants, who are 2.5 games out. The 5-5 Whitehall Whitetails are in fourth place and 4 games back, while the 2-11 Augusta Athletics are in fifth, and the 1-9 Beef River Bullfrogs are in sixth. Today, the Chippewa River Baseball League is scheduled for 3 doubleheaders. The Osseo Merchants will host the Bloomer Woodticks at John Soine Field in Osseo, while the Cadott Red Sox will journey to Cinder City Park in Altoona to face the Eau Claire Bears, and the Beef River Bullfrogs and the Tilden Tigers will square up at Spangberg Field in Strum for a twin bill. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get to know one of this season's Cavalier players on Cavalier Profile. You're tuned to In the Dugout on NLWN-TV.
We come from a long line of farmers, and there's a sense of pride, but there's also a significant amount of pressure.
Farmers have to take care of their physical and their mental health, because what's a farm without a farmer?
Watching the sun come up, that's my time. I can have a cup of coffee, and every day is a new opportunity.
That's cool.
Yay!
Don't forget to check in on yourself. Love your mind.
Time now to get to know a Cavalier player on Cavalier Profile. We'll get to know a little better who plays on this year's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball team. And now, Cavalier Profile.
Today on Cavalier Profile, we're talking with Andrew Milner. And Millie, tell us a little about yourself, where you grew up, the different levels of ball that you've played, and so on.
For sure. So I grew up in and around Eau Claire. Played Little League with the Nationals, played with Hobby a bunch, which is pretty cool. And then growing up, I never really played baseball all too much in the summer until I was about 13. Started playing summer ball and kind of fell in love with it. And now I'm playing in college over at St. Mary's, University of Minnesota, and playing here in the summertime, and I'm loving every second of it. So
You can't beat a warm summer afternoon at Carson Park, can you?
no, not at all. Nothing better.
So when not playing baseball, what are some other things that keep you interested or occupied?
Yeah, my family's got land up north, so we like going up there a bunch to fish. Me and my dad are huge fishermen, so if I'm not on the ball field anywhere, I'm usually fishing or in my room playing video games if the weather doesn't allow.
Are you part of that sport of 1,000 casts, going after the big muskie, or are you going after the panfish for dinner?
I'm not too big into fish with teeth, so I'm more of a sunfish or a largemouth, smallmouth bass kind of guy.
Something you can put in the skillet and fry up.
Exactly,
and
right. I mean, I caught one walleye, and he's my trophy fish for my life. So
Okay, all right. Here's our signature rapid fire questions.
Absolutely.
First of all, pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
so ice cream.
Which kind?
I'm a vanilla guy. I'm pretty basic.
Well, and with vanilla, it's all about the toppings.
Oh, absolutely.
And so you can do whatever you want with
you
it.
got vanilla, you got vanilla bean, there's multiple different kinds too.
Sure.
I'm a vanilla connoisseur, so
Burgers, brats, or hot dogs?
I'm a burgers guy.
What do you want on that burger?
Ketchup, mustard, pickles, cheese, just about everything but tomato. So,
Fairly traditional burger, though.
yeah.
Okay. And your favorite major league team?
Brewers.
All right. Now, if you could sit down and have a conversation or a meal with some kind of baseball personality, whether it's a player, former player, other baseball personality, who would it be and why?
Yeah, for sure. I got a couple that come off the bat right away. Bob Uecker would be one of them.
And he played in Eau Claire.
Played in Eau Claire, huge baseball personality with the Brewers. You've never seen a guy fall in love with a team more than Bob Uecker did with the Brewers, and I really respect that. If we're going players-wise, a couple, Sandy Koufax, I'd love to sit down with. He didn't have a very long career, but it was super dominant. One of the most dominant pitchers that the MLB has ever seen.
I've got to share this with you. My very first major league game was back when the Braves were still in Milwaukee, and I got to see. My father took me to a Braves-Dodgers doubleheader. Koufax and Drysdale pitched the doubleheader, and I got to see Hank Aaron hit a home run off of Don Drysdale. But that was talk about a all-star Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. Yeah, it doesn't get any better than that.
Okay, now if you had a superpower, what might that be?
I don't know. I kind of gravitate towards wanting to read people's minds. I love knowing what people think, and as a pitcher, if I know what the hitter's thinking, it's a lot easier for me to pitch to them, right?
Okay, what am I thinking for the next question?
Next question, what's my name going to be, superhero name?
Hey, you nailed it. So what's your superhero name?
I don't know. Kind of put me on the spot here. We'll go Magic Millie. How about that?
Magic Millie, okay, yeah. All right. We're talking with Andrew Milner today on Cavalier Profile. How about a shout out to your family and friends that come and watch you play?
Mom, Dad, Mackenzie, Elena, thanks for coming to my games. We're looking forward to seeing you in the summer.
So remind us, when people come to Cavalier games, what number are you wearing and where are we going to find you on the field?
I wear number 15 and you'll find me pitching the southpaw, the lefty.
Okay, we want to thank Andrew Milner for joining us today on Cavalier Profile. Coming up next, more of In the Dugout.
This has been Cavalier Profile, where we get to know a little better who plays on the Cavalier baseball team. Stay tuned, more In the Dugout coming right up.
might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Welcome back to In the Dugout. Today, the Cavaliers will take on the Crescent Cardinals in another non-league matchup. Cavaliers are using these non-league games to try and clean up some of their fielding mistakes, which had been plaguing them in the games coming up to this weekend. Now, these games also give them a chance to put a spark in their bats, which need to be more consistent throughout the lineup. So, the Cavaliers and the Crescent Cardinals are ready to do battle, and we'll have all the action of that game for you right here on NLWN-TV. Now, in just a moment, I'll be joining the rest of our broadcast crew at historic Carson Park in Eau Claire as we get ready for today's non-league clash between the Eau Claire Cavaliers and the Crescent Cardinals. That's coming up next. You've been tuned to In the Dugout on NLWN-TV.
You quit smoking and thought, that's that. But here's the thing about lung cancer. By the time you see the symptoms, it could be too late. But now, there's a new scan that can detect lung cancer early, when it's more curable. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
You've been watching the In the Dugout show with a look at today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. Stay tuned! Coming up next is live Eau Claire Cavalier baseball. It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Here we go, feeling the fire. Cavalier spirit,
NLWN-TV proudly presents Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball. Follow the Cavaliers as they defend their Chippewa River Baseball League title.
Under the lights where legends are born, diamond warriors with heart that's worn, uniform shining, proud on the field, a title to defend, a promise revealed. Cavalier champions, hear the crowd roar, defending our title, we're hungry for more.
So now, let's go out to the ballpark in today's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball game.
With victory in sight and a future so bright, together we rise, Cavalier spirit in flight.
And good afternoon. Welcome to Carson Park. The Ospreys are saying hello, and we are getting ready to bring you Cavalier baseball action as they're going to take on the Crescent Cardinals. Both teams are actually a little bit short-handed today, and we'll get through the starting lineups in just a moment. But today it's Whipley and Chippewa River Industries Day at Carson Park. And we're going to have some pregame festivities, and that'll be coming up very shortly. But the managers and umpires are going to be meeting, and while they do that, we're going to take a quick time out on NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV take you out to the ball game. Our next broadcast will be on Sunday, June 29th, when we will bring you the Cavaliers taking on the Tilden Tigers in a doubleheader from Carson Park in Eau Claire. Live coverage on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 12 o'clock noon. That's Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball on Sunday, June 29th on NLWN-TV.
Adding your own flavor to fashion comes with age.
Okay, Dad, look at you.
Yeah, welcome. Hi.
Forgetting how to add doesn't. Finding it difficult to work with numbers may be a sign of Alzheimer's.
Dad, are you okay?
An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's. Some things come with age, some others don't.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right. As a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
Back here at Carson Park, Rick Olson with you, along with Jay Fall and Dan Petchow on the camera, and we're getting ready to bring you today's game as the managers are meeting with the, well, umpire at this point. The umpires for today's game are supposed to be Paul Osmond behind the plate, and Denny Whiteside will be out on the bases. And like I said, both teams are a little bit short-handed, so Jay, if you're ready, why don't you go ahead and fill us in on who's playing in today's game.
Okay, so those of you scoring at home, you can just fill in the entire Le Crescent Cardinals scorecard here today. Leading off will be Hunter Hess. He is the catcher today, position 2. And number 6, Isaac Peterson bats second. And Peterson is playing second base.
Shortstop.
Oh. Okay. Put the number in wrong. So the third batter is Cale Baker, and he is playing third base. Cleanup batter for the Cardinals is number 13, Connor Nelson. Nelson will be on defense at first base today. And the next batter is Mason Bills, and he is playing center field, number 8. Zach Benson is playing in left field. He's wearing number 7. The designated hitter and pitcher is Will Schumann, and Will, we believe, is wearing number 1. And number 8 is Evan Norquist, wearing number 9 and playing position 9, right field. And Sawyer B is on second base. He wears number 4.
And Jay, I think what we'll do is we'll pick up the Cavaliers lineup as we move along here, because we're going to turn it over now to Steve Kent and the pregame festivities.
Your very own 11-4 Eau Claire Cavaliers. The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to remind you that attending this event is a privilege. With this privilege comes the responsibility to conduct oneself in a manner where the game is enjoyable for all fans and participants. Failure to behave in such a manner will result in removal from this facility. Let us remember to show pride in our teams and communities by demonstrating good sportsmanship toward all players, coaches, fans, and officials. Thank you. Fall balls are the property of Eau Claire Cavaliers Baseball Club. Please return all fall balls to the souvenir stand located on the third baseline, where you receive a $1 token good for use at the souvenir stand. As a friendly reminder, Carson Park Baseball Stadium is a non-smoking facility. If you must smoke, we ask that you please leave the stadium. Again, there is no smoking in Carson Park Baseball Stadium. Thank you. Finally, all fans, especially those in the bleachers, are reminded if you're at a baseball game and foul balls may enter the stands at a high rate of speed. We ask that you remain alert at all times. Today's Whipley Chipper Industries Incorporated starting lineups, beginning with the Crescent Cardinals. Leading off and catching, number 14, Hunter Hess. Batting second, the shortstop, number 34, Isaac Peterson. Batting third, playing third base, number 22, Cale Baker. Hitting fourth, the first baseman, number 1, Connor Nelson. Batting fifth, playing center field, number 18, Mason Bills. Batting second, or sixth, the left fielder, number 10, Zach Benson. Hitting seventh, the pitcher, number 26, Will Schumann. Batting eighth and playing right field, number 2, Evan Nordquist. Batting ninth, the second baseman, number 20, Sawyer B. The Cardinals are managed by Gabe McDowell. Now, the Whitley Chippewa Industries Incorporated starting lineup for your very own Eau Claire Cavaliers. Leading off, for first base, number 11, Brayton Tillman. Batting second, the center fielder, number 4, Xavier Bannister. Hitting third, playing shortstop, number 6, the chopper, Caden Erickson. Batting cleanup, the catcher, number 35, Sam Knickerbocker. Batting fifth and playing third base, number 47, Cade Mueller. Hitting sixth, the second baseman, number 17, Carter Faith. Hitting seventh, the designated hitter, number 12, Aiden Ecker. Batting eighth and playing right field, number 22, Trenton Palmer. Batting ninth, left fielder, number 5, Brian Hall. And pitching for Eau Claire is Drew Walkie, number 23. The Cavs are managed by the Coffee Goat, Ryan Bemster, and he's assisted by Flying Brian Meyer and the Rhino, Brian Page. Let's give a warm welcome to the officials for today's game. On the bases, Mr. Danny Whiteside. And behind home plate, Sir Paul Osmond. Now, would you please rise if you're able and remove your hats and honor America for the singing of our national anthem by Miss Jenna Seiberling.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare with the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
That's Jenna Seiberling with our national anthem. And we will have a couple of, actually it looks like we're supposed to have 3 first pitch throwers today. TJ Lang and Matt Eskridge and Dave, I can't even read my own writing here, Lamansky.
And Mr. Dave Lamansky.
And they're just about ready to get things rolling here. And I'm waiting to see if they're all going to do it at the same time or if we're waiting for our first pitch throwers. Now they're starting to work their way out. And they're getting escorted out towards the mound. We have TJ Lang and Matt Eskridge and Dave Lemansky. And this is TJ Lang lining up first, or maybe they're all going to do it at once because there's 3 Cavaliers ready there to make the catch. And there's TJ Lang and all 3 of them, in fact.
TJ Lang, Matt Eskridge, and Dave Lemansky.
Yeah, pretty good throws.
Send it down to Dave Lemansky for a few words about
and Dave Lemansky is going to give us some words down on the field.
Push the bottom on the button. Turn on the bottom of your button.
That was working. Nice. Thank you so much. My name is Dave Lemansky. I'm the CEO at Chippewa River Industries, and we're so happy to be here and being sponsored by Whiffley. We're very thankful for Whiffley's involvement. We've had about a 16-year relationship with them in various capacities. So it's a pleasure for us to be here. We have a number of our employees who are here. If you guys want to raise your hands in the stands, if people who are affiliated with CRI, there you go. CRI's been around for about 55 years, or 57 years, and we're still going very strong. We're headquartered in Chippewa Falls. We have an office in Eau Claire and also in Rice Lake. And our mission is to help people with disabilities live, work, and recreate as independently as possible. And we do that through a variety of programs that we offer in the 5-county region area. So,
and of course, we have mic difficulties down on the field.
I lost you. Oh, no, we're back. I thought it was cut off like the Emmys or something. I'll be quick. But we're very thankful to be here. We also want to thank the Cavaliers for sponsoring CRI today.
He's still having trouble with the microphone. It tends to cut out sometimes down on the field. I think we're just about ready to get things going. Randy Millis going out there to take charge.
Thanks. All right. I thank you to the Cavaliers. We're very happy to be here. And without further ado, let's go get number 12. Good luck, guys.
Thank you, Dave Lemansky.
We got a good, healthy play ball out of that. So it is Whiffley and Chippewa River Industries Day today at Carson Park. A warm, steamy one. On the mound for the Cavaliers is a somewhat familiar face. Drew Wathke has pitched for the Cavaliers in the past. A couple years ago anyway. And so he's going to make a start for the Cavs. Maybe it'll be another one of those surprises like what we got on Friday when Eli Erickson came in and went the distance and threw a dandy of a game. We can only hope. The Cavs do have some pitching available today. Even with a limited roster, they have Cooper Dykes down in the dugout. He'll be ready to go. Xavier Bemnister's out in the outfield. He'll be ready to go. So there's a couple other pitchers here today for the Cavs. The interesting fielding spot is over at first base because Brayton Tillman is over there. Usual first baseman, Logan Hesselman and Jerome Delikowski, Cole Timon. Cavs actually have 4. Carson Windeshausen. None of them are here today. And so Brayton Tillman said he begged the loudest, and he's at first base. So leading things off for the La Crescent Cardinals is Hunter Hess. He's the catcher. And it's fouled back into the net, and we're underway on a warm and toasty sunny day at Carson Park.
89 degrees at game time. Real feel is 95, 92 in the shade. Winds from the south at 15 with a maximum wind gusts of 16 miles an hour.
And a swing and a miss.
And it just gusted up a little further.
And the wind is blowing straight out towards center field. Could be an interesting day as a result of that. There's a ground ball down toward first, foul. Count remains 0-2. And the 0-2 pitch. That's down low for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And after being down on the field trying to dig up lineups and so on, it's considerably warmer down there than it is up in this press box. That pitch missed outside. Counts even at 2-2 to Hunter Hess. And the pitch. Outside, the count goes full. And that pitch missed high and away, and Hess draws a walk. After falling behind 0-2, he ends up over on first base. That's going to bring up Isaac Peterson, the shortstop. And the first pitch to Peterson is a called strike. Glad to have you with us. Hope where you're watching is nice and air conditioned. And that pitch just missed inside, almost got Peterson in the shoulder. So the count's even at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 on. And the pitch, runner goes. Throw by Knickerbocker down to second. And, oh, they're going to say he's safe. Veith thought he got the tag on, and Denny Whiteside said he slid under the tag. So Hunter Hess is over on second. One and 2 the count, and that got him in the shoulder. So runners at first and second.
Hey, third for the Cardinals, the third baseman, number 22, Cale Baker.
Cale Baker is at the plate. He's the third baseman. Wathke at the belt, and he delivers. There's a high pop-up foul territory, and that's gonna caught by Knickerbocker right down in front of the fence near the Cardinal dugout. So that makes it 1 away. And that'll bring up Connor Nelson. Nelson playing first base for the Cardinals. And the first pitch is high for a ball. And a fly ball out towards right field. Foul territory. Tillman back. He makes the catch. Fires it over to third just in case somebody had a thought about tagging and going. So 2 away. And that will bring up Mason Bills.
Number 18, Mason Bills.
That pitch is inside for a ball. And the pitch swung on a miss for strike one. Wathke's pitch. Line shot. That's out into left field for a base hit. Rounding third. Coming in to score is going to be Hess. Throw to third, and he's safe at third. Is Connor Nelson, and Bills checks into second. Give him an RBI.
Left fielder, number 10, Zach Benson.
That's going to be Zach Benson. And the pitch, ground ball over to third, knocked down. Erickson picks it up at short and no play anywhere. That's going to be an error on Cade Mueller at third. And a run came in to score. And we have a strike called to Will Schumann. He's the pitcher for the Cardinals. Wathke delivers. Runner goes. High hopper to Mueller. He's got it. Throw to first. It got past Tillman. Run came in to score. Another run rounds third. He's going to hold up. So Bills came in to score. And that's the second error by the Cavaliers.
The right fielder, number 2, Evan Norquist.
So Evan Norquist comes to the plate. He hits a fly ball out towards right field. Drifting back is Veith, and he makes a catch. So the Cardinals pick up 3 runs on 1 hit. There were 2 Cavalier errors, and we had a couple left on base. So we played a half inning, and it's the Crescent Cardinals 3, Cavaliers nothing on NLWN-TV.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal. The sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us, on the roads that unite us. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to be the fuel that keeps you firing on all cylinders.
Visit either of Eau Claire's 2 locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores on Highway 93 or North Claremont Avenue.
Honey, the kids are antsy. What can we do that will keep all of us entertained and won't break the bank?
How about we take them to the Cavaliers game? Tickets are inexpensive, there's popcorn, hot dogs, and other baseball treats, and great baseball action.
That's right, Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball, your best choice for affordable family entertainment. Check out the schedule at www.eauclaircavaliers.org.
Well, we're back here at Carson Park, and the Cavaliers have a little bit of work cut out for them, as they're trailing the Crescent Cardinals by the score of 3-0 as we go into the bottom of the first inning.
The errors for the Cavs are back.
Well, let's hope that's it. They got them out of their system.
Good. Yeah.
So due up for the Cavaliers, Brayton Tillman, Xavier Bemnister, and Caden Erickson. And sidearm lefty on the mound for the Cardinals. Well, it comes about 3/4 over. So Brayton Tillman steps to the plate, and he comes into the game batting .294. Schumann at the belt. Pitches outside for a ball. And the pitch, that gets past the catcher for ball 2. We have a nice breeze coming through the press box. It's helped by Dan's fan, but we have a nice breeze coming through here. It's blowing some of our papers around, but also helping to keep us a little cooler. There's a chopper down the first baseline, foul ball. Not foul by much. 2 balls and a strike.
And moving air makes 92 feel really pretty comfortable.
Yeah, it does.
Dan's cold right next to the
He's
fan,
just
so.
got sympathy pains for his sister. There's a pop-up over towards third foul territory, moving over and making the catch is Baker. Dan's sister phoned him a little earlier today. She lives in Gillette, Wyoming, and they were dealing with snow.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Coming off the Bighorn Mountains. There's a strike called to Xavier Bemnister, batting .333. And the 0-1, nope. Schumann steps off the rubber. And he wants to have a talk with Hess out there. I think there's some confusion on the signs. So Schumann back on the mound. And he delivers. Swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. That's inside. 1-2. It's the count to Xavier Bemnister. And that one got Bemnister in the hip. And he's taking his time going, maybe it got him in the knee. On the side of the leg at any rate. So that's going to bring up Caden Erickson, but Bemnister's going to take a minute to stretch things out over there at first base. Not that there's ever a good day to get an injury, but This is definitely not one of those.
Yeah.
So Caden Erickson stepping to the plate, batting .289, swing and a miss. He might have got a piece of that. No balls and a strike. Schumann looks at first. Now he delivers. Fly ball deep into left field. That's way back there, but it's foul.
Fouled
Didn't
into
quite
the end
have
zone.
the distance. It didn't have the distance to get out. It did land in the football field on the bounce. No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch. There's a fly ball to center field. Moving over is Bills. Traffic out there, and actually Norquist makes the catch. So there's 2 down. And that's going to bring up Sam Knickerbocker. Knickerbocker batting .380.
Number 35, Sam Knickerbocker.
Schumann looks at first, and he delivers. That's a strike called. Paul Osmond's another one of these umpires that makes his strike call right out in front of him, so it's kind of blocked from us. Bemnister not having a huge lead, and that pitch is outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 down, runner on first. To Sam Knickerbocker. And the pitch. There's a fly ball out into left field. Moving over and making the catch is Benson. And the Cavs go down in the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base. We've played 1 inning, and it's the Crescent Cardinals 3, Cavaliers nothing on NLWN-TV.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right. As a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
Menominee Eye and Optical can help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comro provide comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract or LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eyewear for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality personalized care for you and your family.
And we do have a defensive change for the Cavaliers. Trenton Palmer moves over to center field, and Cooper Dykes goes out into right field. And Dykes is in the lineup for Xavier Bemnister, and Palmer is in center field. And I'm looking down in the dugout area for the Cavaliers, and Bemnister has an ice pack on the back of his knee. So hopefully it's nothing more than a bruise. Not a lot of padding right there where the ball hit him.
One more time, the number is 370722.
And Ryan Page brings him a beverage to drink. And so they're taking good care of him over there. So we're going to start the top of the second inning, due up for the Crescent Cardinals, Sawyer B., and he'll be followed by Hunter Hess and Isaac Peterson. B playing second base. That pitch is high and inside for ball one. That one's high. Now the Cavaliers do have some pitching options. There's a foul ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Because with Dykes going out to right field, they could bring him in to pitch, but they also have Aiden Ecker as the designated hitter. They could burn the DH and put Ecker on the mound. That's a foul ball straight back at us, but over our heads. That hit the metal railing right behind the press box here.
That sounded really close.
That was, you know, when a thunderstorm is close to you, and yeah, that's what it sounded like.
The slow rumble.
And the rumble of that metal vibrating shook the press box. There's a ground ball to Erickson at short. He scoops it up. Throw over to first is in time. That takes us back to the top of the order. Hunter Hess, he drew a walk his first time up.
9 Cardinals made the trip up from La Crescent.
For some reason, when these two teams play each other, that's what happens. I remember the Cavs showing up down there last year with a similar number. There's a foul ball. Actually, if you count the manager, and he does have a uniform, he could play. They've got 10, but you're right. And that one, Hunter Hess still does not have an official at bat because he's been hit by the pitch down around the ankle.
No at-bats for the first 2 in the Cardinals lineup.
So that's going to bring up Isaac Peterson. He was hit by the pitch his last time up. 3 hit batsmen in an inning and a half. Not even an inning and a half. There's a foul back into the screen. He's quickly taping down his papers because they're trying to blow away from him.
Keep that breeze going, though.
And the pitch, that missed inside. A ball and a strike with an out. With 1 out and 1 on. We're in the top of the second inning. Wathke delivers. Fly ball out towards center field. Palmer coming in. He catches it on the first bounce. And flips it back into the infield. Now, Dan would remember this. Yesterday we were recording some vintage baseball, and in vintage baseball rules in the 1860s, what Palmer just did would have been an out.
See, and I could have played baseball then.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. Even our age, we could handle that. There's a strike on the inside corner. This is to Isaac Peterson. Or check that, Cale Baker. And the pitch. There's a fly ball out towards right field. Dykes is back. He makes the catch. Gets it back into the infield. And Hess tagged and advanced to third. 2 down. And that's going to bring up Connor Nelson. He fouled out to Dykes over at first his last time up. Or not Dykes, Tillman over at first. And now we're going to get a courtesy runner for the catcher. That's Dave McCallum, I think he said. That's the 10th guy. And the pitch. Fly ball out into right center field. It's down. One run is in. Rounding third, and everybody's going to be safe, so it's a double for Nelson. And he picked up an RBI as Hunter McCallum came in to score for him. Peterson's on third. And we have Nelson at second. Mason Bills is at the plate. He doubled his last time up. And there's a ground ball through into left field. One run is in. The throw's coming in toward the plate, gets cut off. And so one run comes in as Bills singles to left. That's Peterson coming in to score. And we're going to have a conference at the mound. As Brian Maher having a talk with the Cavs. The hole has gotten a little deeper now. Cavs trailing 5-0. Everybody settling Wathke down a little bit. So at the plate is Zach Benson. Got out on an error by Mueller in the first inning. That pitch is high for a ball. And the pitch, that's high for a ball. And the pitch. There's a high hopper, going to fielded by Erickson. Throw to first in time. But the Crescent Cardinals do some more damage. They picked up a pair of runs on 3 hits, no Cavalier errors, and 2 were left on base. So we have played an inning and a half, and it's the Crescent Cardinals 5 and the Cavaliers nothing on NLWN-TV.
Auto Vision Center in Eau Claire, your source for auto glass repair and replacement. Their quality work comes complete with a lifetime warranty on workmanship. When it comes to windshield repair and replacement, Auto Vision Center provides mobile auto glass services with free estimates. So if your windshield needs help, call Auto Vision Center today. That's Auto Vision Center at 1631 North Claremont in Eau Claire. Call 715-834-5277.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
Always.
Well, the Cavaliers have them right where they want them. Cavs are trailing by 5 as we go into the bottom of the second inning. Due up for the Cavs, we have Cade Mueller, Carter Veith, and Aiden Ecker.
Quote by cameraman Dan Petshaw. Going to give him full credit for that.
You bet. Let's just hope he's right. So Cade Mueller stepping to the plate. He comes up batting .324.
Now, at the bottom of the second for the Cavaliers, the third baseman, number 47, Cade Mueller.
Will Schumann on the mound. That's side armor. Swing and a miss. Strike one. And the pitch. There's a shot out into center field as Mueller is going to check in at first. That's going to bring up Carter Veith. Or check that, Mueller was batting .148. I read the wrong line there. Carter Veith batting .324. And the sidewinder delivers. That just missed outside for a ball. That's one thing about those sidewind pitches. They will look outside and just tail right over the edge of the plate. And the pitch. And that one caught the outside corner. Yeah, we do have a little bit of activity going on down in the Cavalier bullpen. Cooper Dykes warming up down there. And there's a ground ball, foul ball. That was pretty close. Right down the third baseline, just a hair foul. Schumann throw over to first, and they got Mueller. He spun out trying to get to the bag, and they picked him off of first. So, 1 out. 1 and 2 still the count to Carter Veith. Schumann delivers. That's outside. Counts even at 2 and 2. Schumann fires. Swung on a miss. Strike 3. That'll bring up Aiden Ecker. Ecker still looking for his first hit as a Cavalier. He does have some offensive statistics, but no base hits yet. And that's a called strike on the outside corner. 2 down. And that one's fouled back on the right side. And the 0-2 pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 3. And that'll do it for the Cavaliers in the second inning. No runs, no one hit. No errors, and nobody left on base. So we've played 2, and it's the Crescent Cardinals 5, Cavaliers nothing on NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV take you out to the ballgame. next broadcast will be on Sunday, June 29th, when we will bring you the Cavaliers taking on the Tilden Tigers in a doubleheader from Carson Park in Eau Claire. Live coverage on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 12 o'clock noon. That's Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball on Sunday, June 29th on NLWN-TV.
Get in touch with the roots of the Chippewa Valley at the Chippewa Valley Museum, located in Eau Claire's Carson Park, with a mission of connecting people to their community and inspire curiosity. From reinventing the Chippewa Valley, a century of change in farm life, the Farmhouse Theater, along with the Wisconsin Logging Museum and Logging Camp. Also, the Chippewa Valley Museum features special temporary exhibits and traveling exhibits, as well as web exhibits. The Chippewa Valley Museum is open Tuesdays through Saturdays. Call for more information at 715-834-7871.
And want to remind you that coming up on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of this week, the Chippewa Valley Museum would like to welcome you to the Schmegel-Milch Speakeasy at the Schmegel-Milch House on South Farwell Street. You can enjoy a drink in the gardens or find your way into the speakeasy, but only if you provide the right password. Period attire is encouraged, and there's a $10 cover charge, which includes your first drink. That's all put on by the Chippewa Valley Museum at the Schmegel-Milch House. New pitcher for the Cavaliers is Cooper Dykes, and his first pitch is inside for a ball to Will Schumann. Dykes comes into the game with a 2.65 earned run average. And there's a called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. He has a 1 win, 1 loss, and 1 save record. And that was inside. And it didn't hit him. Dykes has 17 innings pitched. And in that, he's got 16 strikeouts. High hopper. Picked up by Erickson. Throw to first. They're not going to get him. That's going to be an infield hit. That one hopped so high.
Wathke pitched 2 innings. He gave up 4 hits, 5 runs. 2 of those were earned, walked 1, didn't strike out anybody, and hit 2 batters.
So there's now a runner on first, and Evan Norquist is at the plate. He popped to second his first time up. That ended that first inning. And there's a strike. It caught the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dykes at the belt, and he delivers. That one's outside, goes back to the screen, and Schumann goes to second on the wild pitch. Two balls and a strike. And there's a ground ball right back to Dykes. They've got Schumann in the rundown. And they got him out. And that way, Norquist is on a fielder's choice. And that's going to be 1 to 5 to 4 to 6 put out. I think.
I just put tag 1, but I'll do yours. 1 to 4 to 6 to 1.
All right, Sawyer B is up, and there's a strike called. Any way you put it, there's 1 out, a runner on first. Sawyer B grounded to short his last time up. That one missed outside.
A successful Cavalier rundown.
And the throw over to first, and Norquist is back. And the pitch. There's a soft fly ball, and Tillman is back to make the catch in foul territory. That's a third of those that Tillman has caught. No, I take it back. It's only the second. Back to the top of the order, Hunter Hess has come up. He doesn't have any official at-bats yet. Swinging and a miss for strike one. Norquist takes his lead at first. Dykes delivers. Just missed inside. One ball and one strike. And the pitch. There's a fly ball out towards center field. Palmer ranging over. He's under it. He makes a catch. And that will do it for the Cardinals. No runs on one hit. There were no errors. One was left on base. We've played 2.5, and it's the Cardinals 5. Cavaliers have 0 on NLWN-TV.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
You're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
Can't believe you're doing this alone. I've done it before. I remember. You threw your back out. How you holding up? Hand me that board. Nothing wrong with getting help. I'm good. I did it when Felicia left. I'll figure it out. I know you will, but you don't have to do it alone. That's all I'm saying. If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence? Now you need my help. It can be a real pain sometimes, you know that? Mm-hmm.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Back here at Carson Park. Due up for the Cavaliers in the bottom half of the third inning. We have Trenton Palmer, Ryan Hull, and then back to the top of the order with Brayton Tillman.
Well, in the Cardinals dugout, it's you either get peace and quiet every half inning, it's lonely, and you don't have to share the water.
I was just going to say, you get the water jug all to yourself. There he is. He's at the watering hole. So leading things off for the Cavaliers in the bottom of the third, Trenton Palmer. Palmer comes into the game batting 148.
We don't share our water either, though. So.
Here's the pitch. That's outside for a ball. In the last few games, Palmer's bat has started showing signs of life. There's an outside pitch. He's worked his way up to 148. He was down in the double digits and not even very high in that at one point. And now he's struggling to get it back up. And that pitch is outside for ball 3. Schumann delivers, and that's quite a ways outside for ball 4. So So Palmer is safe on first, drawing the walk. And that'll bring up Ryan Hull.
Number 5, Ryan Hull.
Hull batting 200. In limited appearances at the plate. He's actually done a lot on the bases because he's oftentimes a courtesy runner. And there's a strike on the outside corner. Schumann at the belt, looks over at first, and delivers. That's outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Schumann delivers. There's a ground ball over towards short. Throw to second for 1. Throw to first. And they got him. So Hull grounds into a 6-4-3 double play. That'll bring Brayton Tillman to the plate.
First baseman, Brayton Tillman.
Tillman fouled out to the third baseman, Baker, his last time up. Just outside the coach's box is where he caught it. And the pitch. And that's a dead ball. That got Tillman. It just brushed him. That's the 4th hit batsman today.
2 on each side.
The pitcher, Cooper Dykes.
So that'll bring up Cooper Dykes. Dykes also looking for his first hit in limited activity at the plate. And he fouls that one back into the screen for strike 1. Schumann delivers, and that one's fouled off on the left side. No balls, 2 strikes. Dykes is at least making contact with both pitches. Schumann looks in, glances over at first. The 0-2 pitch, down low. Hess had a couple words for Paul Osman behind the plate. And the pitch. Check swing outside. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Runner on first. And the pitch. That's high for ball 3. So it's traveling time now for Trenton Palmer. Count is full to Cooper Dykes. And ball 4. And it was my mistake. That was Brayton Tillman that it was traveling time for. But at any rate, Cavs now have runners at first and second. And stepping to the plate is Caden Erickson, who flew out to right field his first time up. After just about hitting one out of the park to left, he hooked it just a little bit too far. Swing and a miss, strike one. Schumann looks over at second. And the pitch. There's a hard shot out into left field down the line. Runner rounds third. Throw coming to the plate. And they got him at the plate. And the Cavaliers do not like that call because they thought he slid in before the tag was put on. It was a close play. Dan shaking his head. And so technically Erickson gets on a fielder's choice as they gun down Tillman at the plate. And the Cavaliers go down with no runs on no hits. There were no errors, and 2 were left on base. So we've played 3, and it's the Crescent Cardinals 5, Cavaliers nothing on NLWN-TV.
Can't believe you're doing this alone. I've done it before. I remember. You threw your back out. How you holding up? Hand me that board. Nothing wrong with getting help. I'm good. I did it when Felicia left. I'll figure it out. I know you will, but you don't have to do it alone. That's all I'm saying. If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence? Now you need my help. It can be a real pain sometimes, you know that? Mm-hmm.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
We were just talking about that play at the plate up here, and it sure looked from our vantage point. And we actually have a really good vantage point on that play, as if he was safe. But that's not the way Paul Osman saw it, and he's the one that matters. And he said, no, he wasn't. The throw did beat him to the plate, but the catcher was back far enough that Tillman had a good shot at the plate and looked like he got him before the tag was put on him. I guess I'll have to look later. Due up for the Cardinals, Isaac Peterson. He'll be followed by Cale Baker and Connor Nelson. And are you saying there's a substitution out there?
No, top of the 4th.
Oh, top of the 4th. Well, I guess our scorebug should say that too. The first pitch by Dykes, well, he's got 2 pitches in now. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. And that missed. 2 balls and a strike to Isaac Peterson. Dykes into his motion and delivers as a fly ball out towards right. Coming in and making the catch is Ecker. And that's 1 away. That's going to bring up Cale Baker. Baker fouled out to Knickerbocker over by the La Crescent dugout and then also flew out to right. And there's a strike caught the outside corner. And Baker wants time. And the pitch, swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes. And the 0-2 pitch just missed outside. That was a pretty good chase me pitch that time by Dykes. Baker wasn't biting, though. And that one's high. Counts even at 2-2. And that one missed high. Count goes full now to Cale Baker. And that pitch went inside, and Cale Baker draws the walk after going down 0-2. He gets the walk to first. Connor Nelson coming up. He doubled his last time up with an RBI. Swing and a miss for strike one.
Glad I have my sunglasses. He's got shiny shoes on the side there.
Yes, he does.
Right up into my eyes. I'll have to find out where to get some of those.
Swing and a miss, strike two. That'll help for night games.
That's it.
Maybe it's reflecting the heat off of his shoes.
Oh, that could be. It did warm up quick in here.
That pitch just missed outside for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Connor Nelson. Dykes delivers. There's a fly ball out towards right field. Aiden Ecker circling underneath it. He makes the catch.
Second put out of the inning for Ecker.
That's going to bring up Mason Bills. You know, we oftentimes forget that these guys that are pitchers, when they were in high school, they played a lot of different positions. So being out in the outfield probably isn't all that strange to Aiden Ecker. Bills has a 2-hit game going for him. As that first pitch was called a strike, he had an RBI double in the first inning and then an RBI single in the second. And there's a shot out into left center field. He's got a 3-hit game going, as that's going to roll out near the warning track. Rounding third, coming towards the plate. The throw comes in. It's not going to be in time. So Cale Baker comes around to score. That's an RBI double for Mason Bills.
Zach Benson.
And that's going to bring up Zach Benson. Benson got on an error and then grounded to short. He's 0 for 2. There's a strike called. 2 down.
Mason Bills has 3 RBIs so far in the game. Every inning he's batted.
And there's a pop-up. Erickson moving out, makes the catch. So that'll do it for the Cardinals, but they do pick up a run on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 left on base. So we've played 3.5, and it's the Cardinals 6, Cavaliers nothing on NLWN-TV.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
To learn more or to help financially, find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
NLWN-2 invites you to join us in our time machine and journey back to the 1860s for some vintage baseball with the Menominee Blue Caps. Our first broadcast will be on Monday, June 23rd, as the Blue Caps face the Flat Rock Bear Clan from Michigan and the Fillmore Fungi from Minnesota. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. That's Vintage Baseball, Monday, June 23rd on NLWN-2.
Welcome back to historic Carson Park in Eau Claire. The Eau Claire Cavaliers are trailing the visiting Crescent Cardinals 6-0 as we go into the bottom of the fourth. Due up for the Cavaliers are Caden Erickson, Sam Knickerbocker, and Cade Mueller.
No, it's Sam leading off. Erickson hit that.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Sam, Cade, and Carter Veith. And catcher Sam Knickerbocker stepping up to the plate. Will Schumann at the mound still for the Cardinals. And that one catches the top of his foot. Guess not. And I think a lot of people in the ballpark saw it that way, but no free base on that one. Schumann. The pitch, that one goes outside. Ball 2. And the pitch lined out to the second baseman, and that is B.
He put it right in the breadbasket.
Yep. So now coming up is third baseman Cade Mueller. Cade had a single last time he was up in the second inning and got thrown out at the plate.
One of 2 hits for the Cavs today. They're making decent contact. It's just hitting it right at people.
That one right down the pike for ball or strike 1. Well, if you come to Carson Park on a day like today, most of the seating is in the shade. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. So that takes the heat down a little bit. Hope you're staying cool and comfortable if you're watching it online here. Jay Fall, Rick Olson, Dan Petshaw with you. That pitch swung on and missed for a strikeout. 2 down here in the bottom of the fourth. And coming to bat is second baseman Carter Veith.
Second baseman Carter Veith.
Quick conversation between Schumann and Baker, the third baseman for the Cardinals. Schumann takes a look. That one way outside. Ball 1.
Today is Whipfly Chippewa River Industries Day today, and there's a pretty good contingent of people from Chippewa River Industries down in the grandstand enjoying the ball game.
And that one catches the outside edge for strike 1, 1-1. Yeah, 3 of Chippewa Valley Industries participants threw out the first pitch at the same time, and they all got it there pretty good. That one into the back fence, but no base runners, so
I think that was intended for one of those Chippewa River Industries people in the grandstand.
2-1 the count. In comes the pitch. That one fouled out behind the first base bleachers.
Center, where they specialize in windshield repair, replacement, and ADAS calibration.
So Carter struck out the last time he batted. That was in the second inning. And Breeze still blown out towards center, swing and a miss for strike three, and that retires the Cavaliers in the fourth inning. No runs, no hits, no Cardinal errors, no base runners. Score at the end of 4 complete innings of play. The Crescent Cardinals 6, the Eau Claire Cavaliers nothing. You're watching Cavaliers baseball on NLWN-TV.
When people are fed, futures are nourished. They can connect with the world around them, unlock endless possibilities, and thrive. Join the movement to end hunger. Volunteer. Advocate. Donate. Go to feedingamerica.org/actnow.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal. The sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us, on the roads that unite us. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to be the fuel that keeps you firing on all cylinders.
Visit either of Eau Claire's 2 locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores on Highway 93 or North Claremont Avenue.
And we're back here at Carson Park.
We've played for the Crescent Cardinals, so far shutting out the host Cavaliers 6-0. For Crescent, 6 runs on 6 hits. They haven't recorded any errors. The Cavs, no runs, 2 hits, and 2 errors. 93 is the temperature right now. That breeze still flowing out to center field. Real feel of 101.
It's toasty. Hey, I want to remind you to join us tomorrow on our sister station, NLWN-2, for our coverage of vintage baseball as we bring you the Menominee Blue Caps playing baseball. That's in the style of the 1860s. We recorded a couple of their games on Saturday, and we'll start that at 7 o'clock.
Will Schumann, the leadoff batter for the Cardinals, looks at strike one, caught the inside corner.
At 7 o'clock on NLWN-2.
Next pitch goes on the outside for strike 2. And that one went behind him.
You know, there is such thing as a chase me pitch, but that's being a little overly optimistic, I think.
Yeah, especially to try to get it behind you. That throw outside. Ball 2, 2-2 the count to Will Schumann.
Although we did see one of those.
And ball hit over to the shortstop, throw over to first, and it gets by Tillman.
They're going to give him a hit on it. He was there well before the throw. And I think we're going to have a courtesy runner.
And the courtesy runner is the manager again.
Courtesy runner for the pitcher. Number 39, Gabe McDowell. Now batting for the Cardinals, right fielder Evan Norquist.
So Gabe McDowell is the courtesy runner.
Evan Norquist, the batter, he flew out to second base and got out on a fielder's choice the last 2 times he was up. And that ball hit well out to center field. Back to get it is Palmer for out number 1.
Again, Trenton Palmer showing his good range out in the outfield.
Sawyer B now up for the Cardinals. He was thrown out at first from the shortstop and flew out to the first base area last time, and he looked at a strike outside.
Yeah, that was one of those foul balls that Tillman raced back and was able to catch.
And that one also caught the outside edge. Strike two. 0-2 to Sawyer B.
Cooper Dykes definitely finding his rhythm now.
Will Schumann a couple of steps off at first, and the third pitch is a ball. And that ball hit to short. The play to second is good, and the play to first in time for the double play to end the inning.
6-4-3.
And so for the Cardinals in the top of the fifth inning, there were no runs, one hit, no Cavalier errors, and no one left on base. Score at the end of 4.5 innings of play. The Crescent Cardinals lead the Eau Claire Cavaliers 6-0. You're watching your Cavaliers baseball on NLWN-TV.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
Honey, the kids are antsy. What can we do that will keep all of us entertained and won't break the bank?
How about we take them to the Cavaliers game? Tickets are inexpensive, there's popcorn, hot dogs, and other baseball treats, and great baseball action.
That's right, Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball, your best choice for affordable family entertainment. Check out the schedule at www.eauclaircavaliers.org.
Bottom of the fifth at Carson Park in Eau Claire. The Eau Claire Cavaliers trail the Crescent Cardinals by a margin of 6-0. For La Crescent, 6 runs on 7 hits, no errors. The Cavaliers, no runs, 2 hits, and 2 errors. Due up for the Cavaliers, designated hitter Aiden Ecker, the center fielder Trenton Palmer, and left fielder Ryan Hull.
Actually, it's right fielder Aiden Ecker. He came in.
Oh, that's right.
When Wathke was actually that was a convoluted path because it all led off with Xavier Bemnister getting hit in the knee with a ball. So then Cooper Dykes went out to right field to take his place out in the outfield, and then when he went to the mound, when Dykes went to the mound, Ecker went out to right field.
And that ball outside for ball one. Aiden Ecker, the last time he was up in the second inning, struck out. So Schumann throwing well. Pitching's got to be even more work on a day like today. That one fouled out toward the Cavaliers' dugout for strike one.
But you don't tighten up when you go to the dugout between innings.
That's very true.
Pitchers like to work into a lather, and they do it real quickly in this kind of weather.
And that ball hit to third. Fielding it is Baker. The throw to first, not in time.
Let's see if they give him a hit on that. It's going to be really close. It was a tough play. Yes, They gave him the hit. That's the first hit for Aiden Ecker of his Cavalier career.
Third hit of today's ball game. Trenton Palmer now up. Ecker on first, now takes a lead. Schumann looks toward first, looks again, and throws that one outside. Ball one.
Dan's got a hurricane blowing through his neighborhood over here. It's knocking all his... Of course, Dan comes with a whole grocery store.
Clean up in aisle 3. That ball outside for ball 2.
And, you know, Dan, if you take off your shoes, those grapes could be turned into wine pretty quickly.
Another ball outside. 3-0 the count.
We never go hungry up here.
No, Dan goes, we never go hungry up here. And what's scary is Dan always brings relatively nourishing stuff. Berries and grapes today.
That one right down the middle for strike 1, 3-1.
How boring.
Hey, on a day like this, the piece of fruit is just about what the doctor ordered. Of course, they're having popsicles down in the Cavalier dugout.
That's pretty close to fruit.
And they got him at first. Eckert kind of got caught leaning.
That's the second tag out at first in today's game for the Cardinals. Same happened to Cade Mueller back in the second. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Full count. No one to travel, though, on this one, so just Palmer. Schumann winds the pitch. That one catches the outside corner for a called strike 3. 2 down. And Ryan Hull, the left fielder, batting now. He hit into a 6-4-3 double play in the third inning.
That was the 5th strikeout today by Schumann in 4 2/3 innings.
And that one hit to the shortstop. Peterson throws over to first, pulled Nelson off the bag.
That'll be an error on the shortstop.
The first one of the game for the Cardinals. So now we go to the top of the Cavaliers' order in the 5th. Brayton Tillman, who flew out to left and was hit by a pitch the last 2 times he was up. In comes the pitch, that one right down the middle for strike 1. That one catches the outside for ball, or for strike 2, 0-2. And that pitch hit out to center field, and underneath it to catch it is Bills, and that retires the Cavaliers in the 5th inning. So there were no runs on 1 hit, 1 Cardinal error, and 1 left. Score at the end of 5 complete innings of play. The Crescent Cardinals 6, the Eau Claire Cavaliers nothing. You're watching it on NLWN-TV.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right. As a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
Auto Vision Center in Eau Claire, your source for auto glass repair and replacement. Their quality work comes complete with a lifetime warranty on workmanship. When it comes to windshield repair and replacement, Auto Vision Center provides mobile auto glass services with free estimates. So if your windshield needs help, call Auto Vision Center today. That's Auto Vision Center at 1631 North Claremont in Eau Claire. Call 715-834-5277.
Back to Carson Park, top of the 6th inning. The Crescent Cardinals visiting team due up to bat, and they'll be at the top of their order. Hunter Hess, Isaac Peterson, and Cale Baker.
Leading off at top of the 6th for the Crescent, the catcher, Hunter Hess.
So Hunter Hess steps in. Cardinals manager trots down to the third base box, and here we go. Pitch comes in, that one inside, strike one.
Dykes is painting the corners.
That one comes in, and
that was the wrong corner to paint.
Yeah.
Oh, evidently it didn't get him.
Yeah, it sure looked like he did. 1-1 the count. Two and one now. And that ball hit well out to right field. Going back is Ecker and gets underneath it for the first out. Isaac Peterson now, the shortstop, steps in. He was hit by a pitch in the first inning and hit a single in the second to center field and flew out to right. That one right down the middle, strike one. And that one a ball. Count is even at 1-1. Concentration in the throw. That one catches the outside edge for strike two. 1-2. One out for the Cardinals. That throw way outside. Left-handed batter's box, 2-2. And that throw hit out to short right field, just past the infield, and that will be a base hit for Isaac Peterson, his second of the day.
Carter Reith made a good attempt at trying to make a stab, but it was still another 3 feet wide of his glove.
Third baseman Cale Baker.
Cale Baker, the third baseman, up. He flew out, flew out to the catcher, flew out to right, and got on by a walk. And that one catches the outside corner for strike one. And pretty much the same place for strike two. That one way outside, ball one.
He had a couple that hit that outside corner, and he was just trying to get him to chase one that was just off that zone.
And swing and a miss.
So when
for strike three.
When the chase me pitch doesn't work, throw it by him.
Connor Nelson, the first baseman, now up. He flew out to first base, had a one-run double, and flew out to right. That ball chopped down into the Cavaliers dugout, strike one. Pitch goes outside. Ball one, 1-1. And that ball hit in the gap between short and third. Hull fields it, and that's a base hit for Nelson, his second of the day. Mason Bills, the center fielder, is up next. He is 3 for 3 today. A one-run double in the first, a one-run single in the second, and a one-run double in the third.
That was the fourth, but every time he's come up, he's produced an RBI. And there is a runner in scoring position.
Take's looking back at him.
He called time. Taking a little bit too long. You get antsy as a hitter.
Dykes checks second. In comes the pitch. That one outside in the dirt for ball one. One and one the count. Runners at first and second, and the throw goes back to second. He got back. It's a good throw back there.
Close play.
But Peterson quick to get back. And that pitch outside for ball two. That pitch, swing and a miss. Strike two, 2-2 the count. Looks like the wind has shifted a little bit toward left center now.
Oh my, that was really close.
Yeah.
Well, now you get traveling time again.
Full count, 3-2. 2 outs. And that one hit to right field. That one goes foul. La Crescent out in front, 6-0 over the Cavaliers. 6 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. The Cavaliers, no runs, 3 hits, 2 errors. Bills, full count, bases loaded. Runners on first and second. And in comes the pitch. He swings and misses, and that ends the 6th inning for the visiting Cardinals. So there were no runs on 2 hits. There were no Cavalier errors and 2 left. Score at the end, 5.5. La Crescent 6. Eau Claire Cavaliers nothing. You're watching Cavaliers baseball on NLWN-TV.
If your estate isn't looking quite estate-like, let Midwest Environmental Consultants landscape your estate right up to snuff with installation of retaining walls, brick patios, foundation planting beds, and so much more. Then they'll keep it that way with their expert lawn care service. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your estate the showplace of the neighborhood.
I'm Chris Jakomick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is, my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakomick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. My service never stops.
Couple other scores in Chippewa River League action. In the first of 2, it was the Eau Claire Bears defeating the Cadott Red Sox 5-1. And in somewhat of an upset, in the first of two, it was the Bloomer Woodticks 2, Osseo Merchants 1.
Now playing great field.
That's a pretty big win for the Bloomer Woodticks.
Leading off the bottom of the sixth. The Cavaliers, the pitcher, Cooper Dykes.
So pitcher Cooper Dykes leads off the sixth inning for the Cavaliers. He'll be followed by Erickson and Knickerbocker. That first pitch catches the outside edge for strike one. Cavs have had just 3 hits today. Looking to get something going here. That one way on the other side of Dykes.
Almost put it in his back pocket.
Yeah, 1-1. And that pitch right down the pipe for strike two. Will Schumann has gone the distance for the Cardinals. That ball inside and low for ball two. And
that unbuttoned his shirt.
Yep. There's a freebie. That is the third batter hit by Will Schumann. That brings Caden Erickson to the plate. He flew out to right and had a base hit to left.
And a really long foul ball down the left field line.
That one swing, big swing, and a miss for strike one. Looks over at first, and that pitch is popped up near second base, and B grabs that one for the first out.
That one had that sick sound like it might have done his bat in, but he doesn't look like it the way he picked the bat up, though.
So Sam Knickerbocker, his teammates asking him to keep it on the course. He's flown out to left and flew out to second. First one, very wide outside for ball one. Dykes on first. Schumann takes a look over to him, throws that one fouled back. Off the net.
After today's game, the Cavs do get some time off. They don't play again until next Sunday, when they have a doubleheader against the Tilden Tigers. There's some activity going on down in the La Crescent bullpen right now.
And that one on the inside off a checked swing. It'll be 1-2 to Sam Knickerbocker. And that one swing and a miss for strike three. 2 down for the Cavaliers. And Cade Mueller comes up. He struck out and had a single to center, but then got tagged out at the plate on a close one in the second.
That's Evan Norquist warming up down in the bullpen for the Cardinals.
And Dykes gets back in time.
You know, he kind of spun out. I wonder if the field is just a little too dry and they just aren't getting any traction, because that's at least he made it back, but the two runners have been throwing out, just kind of spinning out, trying to get back to the bag.
That one, a strike, catches the outside edge. Mueller asking for an explanation. In comes the pitch. That one low, 1-1. Cavs yet to score. La Crescent leads 6-0. Schumann checks Dykes at first. Winds and throws. That one chopped over short of second base. The throw in time, retiring the Cavs in the 6th inning. So there are no runs, no hits. There were no Cardinal errors and one left. Score at the end of 6 innings of play. La Crescent Cardinals 6, Eau Claire Cavaliers nothing. You're watching Cavaliers baseball on NLWN-TV.
Get in touch with the roots of the Chippewa Valley at the Chippewa Valley Museum, located in Eau Claire's Carson Park, with a mission of connecting people to their community and inspire curiosity. From reinventing the Chippewa Valley, a century of change in farm life, the Farmhouse Theater, along with the Wisconsin Logging Museum and Logging Camp. Also, the Chippewa Valley Museum features special temporary exhibits and traveling exhibits, as well as web exhibits. The Chippewa Valley Museum is open Tuesdays through Saturdays. Call for more information at 715-834-7871.
The Chippewa Valley Museum is participating in the National Blue Star Museums program, which is presented through the National Endowment for the Arts and Blue Star Families. Through Blue Star Museums, active duty military personnel, including National Guard and Reserves, and their families receive free museum admission. And by the way, the Eau Claire Cavaliers want to remind veterans of the United States military that they can get a lifetime pass to all Cavaliers home games by simply coming to Carson Park with your veterans identification, and the Cavaliers will be happy to issue you your lifetime pass. It's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
And you know, to come to the ballpark, if you find a nice spot in the shade, and the price is right for a veteran to come here and watch a ball game. Cavs are on the short end of this one, but it's a nice way to spend a warm, sunny afternoon. And the Cavs can make that happen for you.
So the leading off for the La Crescent Cardinals is left fielder Zach Benson. Carter Dykes on the mound for the Cavs. First pitch, that one hit into short center field, and a base hit to start things out for the Cardinals.
Yeah, dropped it right in front of Palmer.
That is their 10th hit of the game. So Will Schumann, the pitcher, is now batting. He got on by an error, had a base hit to second and one to the shortstop. So, and he looks at a strike one. So a couple nice infield hits. Throw goes back to first. Benson gets back. And that ball chopped over to third. The throw to second is good. Over to first. Not in time. So there will be a double play.
Well, it's a fielder's choice.
Fielder's choice. Oh, that's right, because there isn't a second out. 1 out. 6-5 on that fielder's choice. So Benson is out. That leaves one runner, the pitcher Schumann, and now coming to bat, Evan Norquist. And the throw back to first from home plate. Benson gets back. Norquist got on a fielder's choice and flew out to left and center. Last 3 times he's batted. Throw comes in. That one a ball outside. Breeze picking up again. Flag straight out. Pitch comes in. That one hit down to the shortstop. Play at second and then to first. Got them both.
6-4-3.
So the Cardinals have a quick 7th inning with no runs, 1 hit, no Cavaliers errors, and no runners left. Score at the end of 6.5. The Crescent Cardinals 6, Eau Claire Cavaliers nothing on NLWN-TV.
NLWN-2 invites you to join us in our time machine and journey back to the 1860s for some vintage baseball with the Menominee Blue Caps. Our first broadcast will be on Monday, June 23rd, as the Blue Caps face the Flat Rock Bear Clan from Michigan and the Fillmore Fungi from Minnesota. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. That's Vintage Baseball, Monday, June 23rd on NLWN-2.
Land that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Great job.
Thank you, Mr. Peter Chimera.
Special Olympics.
Special Olympian out of Menominee.
And yeah, he's
from Menominee.
From the Menominee area. Special Olympian and here helping to represent the Chippewa River Industries with his rendition of God Bless America. And Peter trying to urge the Cavaliers to do a little production as well, to be industrious with their bats.
Yeah. Another guy from Menominee with a voice.
Yes.
Oh. So up for the Cavaliers in the bottom of the 7th inning will be Carter
Veith.
Okay.
Yeah, don't forget that coming up tomorrow night, we saw that ad for the Blue Caps baseball, vintage baseball. We will have that for you starting at 7 o'clock tomorrow night on NLWN-2. That was a very interesting experience Dan and I had over there at the Blue Caps. It was the Menominee Vintage Baseball Festival, and there were a whole mess of teams there, and we have a couple of the Blue Caps games for you tomorrow night. And so we encourage you to watch that because it's a little bit different game. You can see the origins of the game we're watching right now, but a few changes in the rules, and Dan and I were talking that, good grief. Jay, even you and I, we could play in that.
You bet. And I'm happy that, out here there's not a swamp over by Galine Field.
There were a couple times that they hit it off into a swampy area, and we wondered if they were going to come back after searching for the ball.
Carter Veith leading off for the Cavaliers in the bottom of the 7th. Will Schumann throws the first pitch. That one gets loose. Ball 1.
You know, you just have this feeling the Cavalier bats are ready to erupt, and if they do, things could get real interesting. 6 is not insurmountable.
And that one he ducked for ball 2.
So he didn't quack up.
Exactly. Dad jokes abounding here at Carson Park.
Oh, we're good at those.
That one, he got a really close look at. It was high, ball 3.
Well, if he hadn't shaved this morning, he'd be on first. I'm just full of them. I think it's the heat.
Must be. Oh, and that one, also a ball, high and inside. So the center fielder?
Right fielder.
Right fielder, okay, Aiden Necker. Got on an infield hit and struck out the last 2 times that he batted, and that one catches the outside edge for strike 1.
That was Aiden Necker's first hit as a Cavalier his last time up. This would be a good time to build on that.
Yes, it would. That one inside, ball 1, 1-1.
That one tried to unbutton his shirt.
Yep. Schumann throws, that one foul tipped. Back, strike 2, 1-2. Schumann looking. And the pitch. Outside, ball 2. Two and 2 the count, no outs yet for the Cavaliers. That pitch got him leaning, and we're now full at 3-2.
Cavs need base runners.
And that ball chopped into the infield. Throw from third. Got him.
That was a fairly close play, but he was out at first, but he did move the runner over.
So now Trenton Palmer, the center fielder, up, struck out looking and got on by a walk the last couple of times he batted here in today's game. 1 out, bottom of the 7th. La Crescent leading 6-0. That one goes outside and catches the edge for strike 1. That one catches the outside corner for strike 2. 0-2 to Palmer. Veith takes a lead out at second. Schumann takes a quick look and fires. And that one, a strike, 1-2.
Palmer had a notion on that one, but held up.
And that one outside. Count even at 2-2. Schumann peeks back. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 down for the Cavaliers in the bottom of the 7th. And coming to the plate, Ryan Hull. He is the left fielder. He started a 6-4-3 double play in the third inning and got on by an error in the fifth inning.
Both times he's hit it right to the shortstop.
First pitch. High for ball one. And that one hits Hull in the shoulder. Not as hard as the one that hit Bemnister earlier on, but he gets a free base out of it.
Yeah, that was, he pulled the string on that one, and Hull wasn't going to work real hard to get out of the way of it. Like I said, Cavs need base runners any way on.
Yeah. Even if it stings a little bit. Brayton Tillman, top of the order for the Cavaliers. 2 outs. That one fouled back. Strike one. So runners on first and second. Be good to get them moving around here in the bottom of the seventh. A 6-run deficit for the Cavaliers. Schumann looks back, throws. Ball one, 1-1.
He peeled it down to Denny Whiteside, who said, no, he didn't go around.
Schumann stops, takes a quick peek at second, throws. That one headed down the first baseline, and it's going to be a race to get there. And the Cavaliers have finished the 7th inning. So unfortunately, no runs, no hits. There were no Cardinal errors and 2 left on base. Score at the end of 7 complete innings of play. The Crescent Cardinals 6, the Eau Claire Cavaliers nothing on NLWN-TV.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, but with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. And you can change the outcome. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
Being a cowboy, well, I don't know anything different. I had a very successful career. Life was fast. I was preparing physically. I wasn't doing anything mentally. And then I got hurt. I dug into mental health. I wanted to be better as a person. I start my day with a workout. I live life 8 seconds at a time. Find a place to stop and just breathe. Love your mind.
Welcome back to Carson Park in Eau Claire. We have completed 7 innings of play, and to take us the rest of the way, here's Rick Olson.
Well, thank you, Jay. Cavaliers need to hold the Cardinals here and then see if they can't make something happen in the 8th and 9th innings. That's not unheard of for the Cavs in this situation. This is not a blowout. Things got a little out of hand in the first couple innings, but after that, it's been a tightly played game. Due up for the Crescent Cardinals, Sawyer B., and then he'll be followed by the top of the order, Hunter Hess and Isaac Peterson. B comes in, grounding to short, then grounded into a 6-4-3 double play. He also popped a foul down the first baseline that Tillman caught, and the first pitch is a ball. Cooper Dykes on the mound. Missed outside. 2 balls, no strikes. And there's a ground ball to Erickson at short. Throw to first in time. So that's going to take us back to the top of the order. Hunter Hess coming up.
Fielder Hunter Hess.
Hunter Hess is 0 for 2, but he's also walked and was hit by the pitch. And again. That's the first batter hit by Dykes.
Shortstop Isaac Peterson.
And that'll bring up Isaac Peterson. And he grounds one foul down the third base line. And there's a strike on the inside corner. No balls, 2 strikes to Peterson. He's got a 2-hit game going for him. Throw it on to first, and it's not going to be in time. Ball got away from Tillman, but he chases it down. Peterson's been hit by the pitch, singled to center, flew out to right, and then singled to right. So he's 2 for 3. There's a fly ball out into shallow center field. It's going to fall in. Little Texas leaguer right into no man's land. And that'll bring up Cale Baker. Baker hits a fly ball out into right field. Ecker under it. He makes a catch. And runner at second bluffed to third, but did not go. So 2 down.
That was a great throw from Ecker to Mueller.
That's why he's a pitcher.
Yeah. He maybe took 2 steps off the bag, Hess did, and hightailed it right back.
And Ecker put it right into the glove of Mueller, right in front of third base. Connor Nelson at the plate, and the first pitch is a ball. There's a ground ball over towards second, picked up by Veith, flipped to first in time. So, the Cardinals go down with no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left, 2 left. And we've played 7.5, and it's the Crescent Cardinals 6 and the Cavaliers nothing on NLWN-TV.
Achieving my goals as an adult was challenging without a high school diploma. With the help of an adult education center, I finished my high school diploma and it changed my life.
This yearbook is a testament to your accomplishments and how they have impacted all of us.
Getting my high school diploma made me feel like I can do anything. Now, I can help the kids in my community achieve their dreams.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
My name's Stacy, I'm 57, and I was adopted in 2020. One teen can come in and make you look at life in a whole different way.
You know, he's my father, so I look up to him a lot. If I can be 10% of the man he is, I'll be a happy person for sure.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
Well, we're heading into the bottom of the 8th inning. Cavaliers need to get a little something going. Hits have been few and far between. They've only had 3 on the day. And it's not like they aren't making good contact, but it's always been right at somebody. Cooper Dykes is set to lead things off for the Cavaliers. He'll be followed by Caden Erickson and Sam Knickerbocker. Dykes does not have an official at bat. In fact, that spot in the batting order doesn't have an official at bat, because that's where Xavier Bemnister was. Bemnister was hit by a pitch. Dykes drew a walk, and Dykes was hit by the pitch. You know, if you're not going to hit the ball, let the ball hit you. I'm sure Xavier Bemnister doesn't like that saying right now. Schumer at the belt, and it's a called strike on the outside corner. And the pitch, that's outside. And the pitch, that's high. 2 balls and a strike. We have some defensive changes. Hunter Hess is now out in left field. Foul back into the net. Counts even at 2-2. Benson has moved over to center field. And behind the plate, oh, I think we have a new pitcher. We do. And the pitch is outside because Schumann is now behind the plate. And I do believe that this is Norquist on the mound. And that's high and inside, ball 4. So Cooper Dykes draws a walk to get things started in the 8th inning. It's going to bring up Caden Erickson. Erickson has one of the Cavaliers' 3 hits. Norquist delivers. That's high and tight. It's a whole different look for the Cavaliers now. Instead of a left-handed side armor, they've got a right-hander going over the top. Erickson grounds it over to third, throw to second for 1, but he can't hang on to the ball. And they made the put out at second. Was the transfer of the ball that had him drop the ball. So Erickson's on a fielder's choice, 5-4. And that's going to bring up Sam Knickerbocker. Knickerbocker hits a soft liner and can't hang on. The second baseman can't hang on, and safe at second is Erickson. That was a really close play because that was a force play at second. Second baseman thought he made the catch, but he didn't hang on when he hit the ground, and it was not a case of transferring the ball. And they gave him a hit on that, gave Knickerbocker a hit. Puts Erickson on second. And the pitch is high and inside to Cade Mueller. So 1 out, 2 runners on. Mueller is 1 for 3. There's a high fly ball, foul territory over near the fence, and making the catch over there is Baker. So 2 down. And that's going to bring up Carter Veith. Veith is 0 for 2, struck out twice, also drew a walk. Veith came into the game batting .324, so I would say he's due. That pitch is outside for a ball. And the pitch. That's foul back off the facade of the press box. A ball and a strike.
Cavaliers need some runs here, so Erickson and Knickerbocker taking pretty good leads off the bag.
2 down. The 1-1 pitch. Foul back into the screen. Count goes to 1-2 now to Carter Veith. Norquist at the belt and delivers. There's a high fly ball into the infield. Moving over is Peterson. And he barely held on. He juggled it. But that's the 3rd out. So the Cavs get no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors, and 2 were left on base. So we've played 8, and it's the Cardinals 6 and the Cavaliers nothing on NLWN-TV.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
And the Cavs have a new first baseman. That's Drew Wathke down on first. I don't see any other defensive changes for the Cavaliers. Cooper Dykes starting his 7th inning of work. He's given up 1 run today on 6 hits. And due up for the Cardinals in the top of the 9th inning is Mason Bills. Bills is 3 for 4. A pair of doubles, a single, all of those delivered RBIs, and then he also struck out his last time up. And there's a ground ball over to Erickson at short. Picks it up, throws it over to Wathke at first in time. So, 1 away. Zach Benson stepping up. He is 1 for 4. He singled to center field his last time up. He also got on an air. And he grounded to short and popped to short. And strike 2 called. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Check swing. And they appealed on the first. And Denny Whiteside says no, he didn't go. Now the pitch that's down low. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. And the 2-2 pitch. That just missed that outside corner. The count is full. To Zach Benson. Here's the pitch. There's a high hopper over to third, but it's in foul territory. So the count remains 3-2. That's what you call spoiling a pitch. So the payoff pitch, that one's also fouled away. As a hitter, that's what you want to do. That pitcher throws a pretty good pitch. You want to get a piece of it and live to swing again. And the pitch. Strike 3 called. Benson thought he had ball 4, but Paul Osmond said, nope, that's strike 3. So with 2 down, that's going to bring up Will Schumann, who's now the catcher. Grounded into a fielder's choice his last time up. He's also got a couple of hits today. And there's a chopper foul right behind the plate. And the pitch. There's a soft ground ball over to Wathke. It goes off his glove. They don't have a play. That's going to probably be an error on Wathke. And that's the way they rule it. So that's going to bring up the pitcher, Evan Norquist. Oh, Dave McDowell is coming to the plate. And heads up behind us was coming right at us. And another foul ball right back over the press box. No balls, 2 strikes. And that one missed outside. Knickerbocker tried to frame it. And the 1-2 pitch. That's outside. Counts even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. 1 runner on. We're in the top of the 9th inning. Cooper Dykes delivers, and it missed outside for ball 3. So it will be traveling time for Will Schumann. He's off and fouled back. Count remains 3-2. Dykes at the letters and he delivers, and again it's fouled off. And here's the pitch. Strike 3 called. He went down looking. So, for the Cardinals, no runs on no hits. There was 1 Cavalier error and 1 left on base. We're going to head to the bottom of the 9th on NLWN-TV.
Losing the fear of looking foolish comes with age.
Who did you steal him from?
Losing your way in your own home doesn't. Confusion with time and place may be a sign of Alzheimer's.
Mom, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We'll be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV by calling 715-563-1749.
And we're going to head into the bottom of the ninth inning. Cavaliers have a lot of work to do this inning if they want to have any chance at all. Due up for the Cavaliers in the bottom of the ninth, Aiden Ecker, Trenton Palmer, Ryan Hall. Ecker has gone 1 for 3 tonight. He had an infield hit over to third. He's also been the victim of a strikeout, and he also grounded third to first. Norquist delivers. It's outside for a ball. And the pitch. That's a strike called. 1 ball and 1 strike to Aiden Ecker. And the 1-1 pitch. Strike called on the outside corner. Norquist delivers. That's inside for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. That's high and away, ball 3. Trenton Palmer on deck. And the payoff pitch. That's high for ball 4. Aiden Ecker did his job. He got on base. That's going to bring up Trenton Palmer. He's 0 for 2. He drew a walk and he struck out twice. Once looking, once swinging. And he swings and misses at that one for strike 1. Cavaliers need to remember there's no such thing as a 6-run hit. They need to build something. That one's inside. Momentarily got away from the catcher. 1 ball and 1 strike. And that's high for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. I believe that's Schumann behind the plate. And there's a fly ball out into center field. Moving over and under it is Becker. I think, who did we say? Benson was out there for the catch. That's going to bring up Ryan Hull. With 1 out. Aiden Ecker on first. Hull is 0 for 2. And that's a called strike. Throw it on to first, and Ecker's back in safely. And the pitch. That's high for a ball. Ball and a strike. One out, one on. Got a pocket full of aces here. And the pitch. There's a ground ball down to third through the wickets. And everybody's going to be safe. That's going to be an error on the third baseman. So it moves Ecker over to second. Ryan Hall at first.
First baseman, Drew Watkey.
And I'm waiting to see if they put that up as... They didn't put it up as a hit. They didn't put it up as an error. Check swing strike called. This is Drew Watkey at the plate. And that's high for a ball. And there's a strike called. A ball and 2 strikes to Drew Watkey. And the pitch. That's down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, 2 on. Norquist at the belt, and he delivers. Strike 3 called. Watkey didn't like it, but it was really close. That's where he's been calling them all day. So 2 down. That's going to bring up Cooper Dykes. Dykes does not have an official at bat yet today, although he's stepped to the plate 3 times because he's walked twice and been hit by the pitch once. Hit by the pitch once. I'm not sure how that came out of my mouth the first time. And that's a strike called on the inside corner. Norquist delivers. Fouled for strike 2. Cavs down to their final strike. Norquist shook off a sign. And the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that's going to do it as the Cavs get blanked today by the Crescent Cardinals by a score of 6-0. The winning pitcher will be Will Schumer, and the loser will be Drew Watkey. We'll have more on this right after this timeout when we get to Talkin' Baseball on NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV take you out to the ballgame. Our next broadcast will be on Sunday, June 29th, when we will bring you the Cavaliers taking on the Tilden Tigers in a doubleheader from Carson Park in Eau Claire. Live coverage on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 12 o'clock noon. That's Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball on Sunday, June 29th on NLWN-TV. You've been watching Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball on NLWN-TV. This copyrighted presentation has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network in conjunction with the Eau Claire Cavaliers and is intended for the enjoyment of the viewing and listening audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction in any form without the express written consent of the Northern Light Webcasting Network LLC and the Eau Claire Cavaliers is prohibited. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Talkin' Baseball, with a look back at today's game.
Hey, honey. We thought we'd try something new.
Family art hour. What do you think?
You got jokes. You're funny.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
Time now for Talkin' Baseball with a wrap-up of today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. And now, back out to the ballpark.
And we're back here at Carson Park, where the Cavaliers have dropped a 6-0 decision to the Crescent Cardinals. The Cardinals got 6 runs on 11 hits. They committed 2 errors, and the Cavaliers no runs, 4 hits, and they committed 4 errors. So that error problem has been a bit of a bugaboo still for the Cavaliers. Winning pitcher in this game, Will Schumann, and the losing pitcher, Drew Wathke for the Cavaliers. Cavaliers' overall record now goes to 10-5. We don't have a record. I think they said they thought they were 4-3 coming into this game, so they would now be 5-3, but we don't know that one officially yet. We will have Brian Maher coming up and talking with us in a little bit. Pretty nice, if you try to find the positives, pretty nice performance by Cooper Dykes in relief. He did 7 innings, gave up 1 run. It was an earned run on 6 hits, and he struck out 4. So he came on in relief of Drew Wathke, who really had a rough day today. He didn't get much help defensively in that first inning. He ended up giving up 5 runs, 2 of which were earned on 4 hits, and he only went 2 innings, and so that spelled, well, Cavaliers didn't score any runs, so 1 of those runs would have been enough, but Wathke had a rough time with it today. Jay, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, a tough day for the Cavaliers after a good effort on Friday night. They hit the ball well, but just didn't have base runners on there, and or enough hits to take over the Cardinals. So they've got a week off. It'll probably be a good thing.
Yeah, Schumer did pick up 9 strikeouts. One of the things, we had a lot of Cavalier regulars not here today, and they cobbled together a lineup, but the lineup by the end of the day had 3 pitchers in the batting order, and that tended to show, even though one of them got his first hit of the season. But Drew Wathke, Cooper Dykes, and Aiden Ecker, and of those 3, only 1 got a hit. That was Ecker. That was an infield hit at that. Cooper Dykes did get on base 3 of the 4 times he came up to the plate by drawing walks and getting hit by a pitch. Ecker also was able to draw a walk. Wathke, in his only plate appearance, struck out. So that's an inning right there. That's giving up. A lot of people say you're giving up 3 outs right there. It's really hard to put together any kind of a rally when you have that going on. And so the Cavaliers were kind of victims of that. It didn't help that Xavier Bemnister went out with a knee injury of some type after being hit by the pitch. It looked like it was right in the knee. We'll find out from Brian Maher whether it's something to be concerned about or not. And Dan is heading down. I think he's going to make sure that Brian Maher is going to be finding his way up here. Meanwhile, we're going to take, I was going to take a timeout, but Brian is here. And so we are just about ready. And we were just talking, Brian, this is a kind of a tough one to get anything rolling when you've got 3 pitchers in the batting order. And, you're missing just a few too many bodies to be able to mount any kind of offense.
That is true. We had some late no-shows.
Or scratches, late scratches.
Made it difficult, and putting the team out there that we had, we did what we could. We got to get some of these regulars back on track. I know they can do it. They've done it.
And they... I feel kind of badly for Drew Wathke. He didn't get much support in that first inning when you guys gave up 3 runs. And
couple errors.
Yeah, and so that didn't help him any. But then turned around in the second inning, gave up a couple more runs, and they were both earned. And so...
I didn't want to leave him out there coming in and helping us out short notice. I didn't want to...
He was out...
He wasn't used to playing game conditions, and then this is...
And to be perfectly honest with you, Cooper Dykes came in and threw a pretty nice 7 innings for you.
He did an unbelievable job. That's stepping up and above and beyond the call of duty for relief, especially when he didn't know until this morning when I texted him. So, but it's real shorthanded, unfortunate injuries, and
speaking of which, Xavier took one to the knee, it looked like. Is that something we should be concerned about?
Very much so, yeah.
Okay.
He's one of our better players, and it is a very unusual spot that he was hit, an injury that I have never seen before. It was on the back side of his knee, not the side, not the front. It was on the back side, but it did something I haven't seen before, and I've seen a lot.
Okay, yeah, because from up here it looked like it might be right on the side of the knee and would have been ball on bone and been a big bruise. But this is something we're going to have to take a look at, and hopefully the best for Xavier. And
very unusual, yes.
So to Ryan, you got to hustle and get back from Utah.
We got a tough doubleheader next week, so
you do.
I think we're going to get players back, and we're going to be a little more healthy, and we're going to hit the ball.
Actually, this is a pretty good time for the players to have
a week off. Yep, they need it.
Go out and hit the beach. Just don't get sunburned.
Our pitching has been phenomenal.
Yeah, it's kept you in some of these games.
I mean, the performance that Cooper had today, Eck played a couple of times this week. I didn't want to put him in the game, and thank goodness Cooper was able to, gut it out and get through. But our pitching has been great. We need to start to hit the ball.
And Aiden Ecker looked like he was very familiar with playing out in right field. He looked very comfortable out there.
Yeah, he's fine. Yep.
And we made a comment during the game that a lot of these guys, when they're in high school, they play all over the place. And so I'm sure right field wasn't a real strange thing for him.
Yeah, he's done it before. He can do it again. It's not like he's been removed from the game for very long. He's 19 years old.
So, 6-0, you drop one, and time to put that behind us and go get Tilden in a week.
That's right. Let's go get 2 wins next week.
All right, and we will have more Talking Baseball right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
Adding your own flavor to fashion comes with age.
Okay, Dad, look at you.
Yeah, welcome. Hi.
Forgetting how to add doesn't. Finding it difficult to work with numbers may be a sign of Alzheimer's.
Dad, are you okay?
An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's. Some things come with age, some others don't.
Well, we're back here talking baseball. Rick Olson, Dan Petchow on the camera, Jay Fall sitting right off to my left here. And Jay, your final thoughts on this one?
Well, the week off is going to be good. Get the guys some rest and get the bats going. They certainly the pitching has been great, for the Cavs. So getting it all working together next week against Tilden should be a good thing.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the regulars who were in the game today, and Caden Erickson hit the ball pretty hard a couple times. He did get a base hit. Sam Knickerbocker was able to pull off a base hit. Cade Mueller got a base hit. Carter Veith went 0 for 3, and Trenton Palmer went 0 for 3. But Brayton Tillman went 0 for 3. So they did about half and half with guys coming through, and that's got to pick up a little bit, and we got to get bodies back. That's the important part, and that will happen in a league game against the Tilden Tigers next week. So, and we will have that one.
Yep, Sunday, June 29th. Cavaliers taking on the Tilden Tigers here at Carson Park in Eau Claire. Coverage begins at noon with the In the Dugout show, followed by all the play-by-play action. Today's Eau Claire Cavaliers baseball game brought to you by Menominee Eye and Optical, with quality, personalized care for you and your family. Your Napa Auto Parts store at 3580 Mall Drive in Eau Claire. Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Comfort food, the way Mom used to make it. Midwest Environmental Consultants, lawn care and soil testing experts for Western Wisconsin. Auto Vision Center, windshield repair and replacement on North Claremont Avenue in Eau Claire. Slayton's Technology, the official IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network, and the Chippewa Valley Museum, where you can connect with the roots of the valley right here in Carson Park. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Eau Claire Cavalier baseball here on NLWN-TV.
So for Jay Fall, this is Rick Olson along with Dan Petschow. That final score, once again, the Crescent Cardinals 6, Cavaliers 0. And you've been tuned to Talkin' Baseball on NLWN-TV.
You have been tuned to Talkin' Baseball with a wrap-up of today's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
In the heart of a small town where the rivers flow, there's a spirit rising up and it's starting to grow. Carson Park's the place where dreams come alive. Eau Claire Cavaliers, the reason we thrive. With the crack of the bat and the roar of the crowd, we spell baseball magic and we shout it out loud. For over 50 years of history, pride and cheer. In this town, we're all family, the love sincere. Eau Claire Cavaliers, we wear it with pride. Big time baseball in a small town ride. From the bases to the bleachers, hear the fans sing. For the love of the game, together we bring. In this town standing tall, we always belong. With Eau Claire Cavaliers, we'll keep singing our song. Through the ups and the downs, we'll face every fight. With grit in our hearts, we'll shine ever bright. Eau Claire Cavaliers, we wear it with pride. Big time baseball in a small town ride. From the bases to the bleachers, hear the fans sing. For the love of the game, together we bring. So raise up your voices, let the stories be told. In Eau Claire's pure heart, our legacy bold. With the Cavaliers shining like stars in the night. Big time in a small town, forever in our sight.